From the battles fought to the words unsaid, through heavy burdens, the paths we tread, from the songs we sing to the fears we face, we find our strength in shared embrace. Voices rising, hearts awake, through every moment, the steps we take. Discuss the pain, reflect the fire, transform the dark, lift each heart higher. Courage to converse, a bridge to start, healing the world, one open heart. An open heart. From the battles fought to the words unsaid, through heavy burdens, the paths we tread, from the songs we sing to the fears we face, we find our strength in shared embrace. Voices rising, hearts awake, through every moment, the steps we take. Discuss the pain, reflect the fire, transform the dark, lift each heart higher. Courage to converse, a bridge to start, healing the world, one open heart. Every voice, a story told, through the new, through the old, bound by love, the ties that bind. In every struggle, hope will find. Discuss the pain, reflect the fire, transform the dark, lift each heart higher. Courage to converse, a bridge.
Welcome to Courage to Converse, where we discuss tough topics, reflect on personal experiences, and explore paths for growth and understanding. Before we dive in, I want to acknowledge that some conversations may touch on sensitive or challenging issues. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for professional advice or support. If you or someone you know is struggling, resources are available to help. In the U.S., you can call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or text HOME to 741741 to reach the crisis text line. Remember, our goal here is to spark meaningful conversations while fostering respect, understanding, and personal growth. So let's get started.
All right. And here we are again for another episode of Courage to Converse. It's been quite a while. My name is Joe, if you don't remember me. And we also have
LA Rogers, we gotta work on your camera angles.
camera angles. Can we move it up?
Yes, you tilt till you're skinny.
Hold on. We can work on it right now. Let's do this. We're going to do this live.
Oh, I didn't know you had it all. My bad.
Actually,
There you go. There you go. Even better. In my defense, I had a whole ass baby.
we're going to get to
No, I'm just saying.
don't get ahead of ourselves. Better?
Well, yeah.
Is that red or green?
It's green.
Green. Red.
Perfecto. Red now.
What we want.
Even better. Yeah, there we go.
And I look like a ghost. It's all good.
There you go. Now you can see you.
All right. Hopefully, everybody can hear us. We do some checks over here real quick.
Hello, hello, hello.
We're going to do that. Go ahead and talk now.
Talk now.
All right. There we go.
There we go.
That's what we want. We'll turn those down so we don't hear ourselves echoing, and we'll get into it. So, like it says today in the description, this is going to be some catch-up. We haven't done these episodes in quite some time.
It's been a minute.
Not like we haven't been busy or life happening for us for quite a while now. But, yeah, actually, you probably do want to close that door, huh?
Life's been lifing.
Yeah. Go ahead. Explain what's been going on. With you.
I mean, life's been lifing.
What does
What's
that
going on
mean?
with me? I I had a whole baby. I made a whole person since our last podcast.
Yeah.
I made a whole person.
And he's here.
He's here. Well, he's not here,
he's
but
in the world.
here. Yeah.
And we all get to meet him very soon.
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah.
He's hanging out in the NICU for hopefully only another week or so.
He's in good hands, though, right?
He is. He's
Yeah.
not in my hands, and that's the problem.
He will be.
Yeah. I mean, that whole experience was crazy.
It happens, you know. It's what's meant to be. That's what matters. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, everything worked out for the best. He's here. He's fine. I'm still here, thankfully.
And healthy, right?
Heading that way. Yeah.
Are there
I still have some elevated liver enzymes, but they're monitoring it and think that it'll correct itself over time.
but I could tell you seem to be doing a lot better though
I am.
from where you were during the pregnancy.
Man, that pregnancy was rough. That was 6 months of no energy and puking and miserable and feeling like crap. And I wanted it to be over, but I didn't want it to be over like this.
Right.
But I mean, it all worked out for the best. And I feel like, honestly, if it had all happened a year ago, I wouldn't be handling it as well. But I'm more equipped to handle the mental stuff involved with it.
How so?
There's a lot of mom guilt. And we'll go ahead and just say mom guilt is not logical in the slightest. I tried to explain it to my husband, and he was like, that's absolutely ridiculous. And I was like, I know, but that's mom guilt. You know, just as a woman, period, I struggle with, feeling like, because we had 2 miscarriages before we got pregnant this time. So there's already that frustration with, feeling like your body's betraying you. And then the entire pregnancy, I was absolutely miserable. I mean, morning sickness never left. That energy boost you're supposed to get in the second trimester never came. I mean, it was rough.
Well, those are like standard things. A lot of people say those. It doesn't happen all the time, though.
Right. No,
it
but
happens with a lot less people than you
right.
think.
In my last pregnancy, I was in my 20s, and it was a lot easier. And
Yeah, you're a lot older now.
hey, easy on the terminology there. I don't know about a lot older. But no, it was definitely a completely different experience than my first pregnancy, and a lot harder than my first pregnancy. And mentally, it was a struggle because there was a lot of guilt during the pregnancy because I was miserable, and at the same time, you're supposed to be happy, and I was thankful and happy, but miserable at the same time, and everybody's response is, it's worth it. It'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. Yeah, in the end. We're not in the end. So right now it sucks.
Yeah, I'm miserable.
I'm miserable and this sucks.
Get this parasite out of me.
Right, I said that, and then it happened, and it was like, oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to manifest. The first thing I ever manifested, it's that. But yeah, no, and then, I did struggle there for a little bit with the fact that he did have to come so early. I had him at 31 weeks. He's 9 weeks early because he was perfectly fine. I developed HELP, which I don't remember the abbreviation for it, but basically it's an extreme form of preeclampsia. However, like your platelets, your red blood cells break down and your platelet count drops, which affects your ability to clot and all that. And then your liver enzymes shoot up, and you have the potential of going into liver failure and kidney failure, and it's literally like life threatening for the mom and the baby at that point. But he was fine. And so then I had to deal with the whole, feeling guilty that he had to come early and he was premature and he had to stay in the NICU, and it was my fault. I mean, it wasn't my fault, but it was because of me.
Right.
That
You feel
it
it was your
happened,
fault.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just dealing with that stuff, and, I got through it. I don't think I would have got through it as easy a year ago today.
Right.
But now, because not to say the one thing we always say and we always hear, but feelings aren't facts. And that's something that's stuck with me for a long time. And I'm to the point where I can acknowledge I feel this way. I know it's not true. So I'm not going to dwell on it, but I do feel this way.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Never going to change the fact that you feel the way you do.
Exactly.
Yep.
You know, but, you know, and then honestly, having a premature baby, having to go back and forth to the hospital, you know, getting discharged and him not coming home with me was probably one of the hardest days of my life.
Right.
And it hasn't gotten easier. I don't think it gets easier. You just learn to cope. You know, there's still days. Yesterday, I cried the whole way home, driving home from seeing him. You know, and I know that he needs to be where he's at, and I know that he's getting the best care he can. We have an amazing children's hospital here in Macon, but he's not with me.
Right.
And that's hard, you know. And then you add on the being completely exhausted all the time, and he's not even home yet. But I'm pretty much on a newborn schedule.
Right.
You know, because with pumping and everything, you have to get up every 3 hours and pump. I'm doing that through the night. And then, you know, there's that jealousy side that looks at my husband, who his life is the same. He's sleeping all night. You know, he's got no problems. He's snoring while I'm up 3 or 4 times a night pumping. It's just, it's difficult. At least if he was home.
He can't do the pumping for you, though.
Right. And I know that. And that's fair. And that's one of the things that's been able to like help me through it is I know just from how he's been since like everything happened, that when Reese does come home, like he's going to be an amazing partner.
Yeah,
like he'll be there helping with feeding.
Dustin's going to be a legit dad.
Yeah.
I know that.
He already is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still frustrating when, you know, I'm exhausted and it's, you know, 3 a.m. and I have to wake up to pump, and while I'm pumping, I'm listening to him snoring. And it's just like
Just
you
put
had a
one on
baby
his.
too. Why am I
Take
the
one
only
and
one
put
awake?
one on him. Sorry, Dustin.
I shot him the other day in the bathroom. It was great. No, but it's a lot. It's definitely been a lot. I don't think that I feel like I almost kind of disassociated in the hospital. Like I knew everything that was happening, but I couldn't even really attempt to process any of it because it was so much out of nowhere at one time.
Right.
You know, I went in for high blood pressure, and then the next thing I know, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have a baby tomorrow." What?
Right.
And then we just had my baby shower this past weekend.
After the baby was here.
After the baby was here, but it was still fun. It was a blast.
That was a lot of fun.
I was really hoping that he was going to be able to come home before then, and we weren't going to tell anybody and just like crash the baby shower with him.
I'm not gonna lie. I honestly thought, yeah, we're gonna have the baby there. I was like, oh, they're gonna have the baby.
He wasn't ready yet.
You gotta do what's right.
He's been on the CPAP machine, and he's still on the CPAP machine. But we're down to, it starts +10 is the highest. And right now we're at a +6. The lowest is a +5. When you hit +5, you go to room air, which is nothing. And so we're at a +6 right now, which, I mean, that's the lowest we've gotten thus far. So hopefully within the next couple of days, we'll be.
So the lower the number, the better for him?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hopefully, because once he gets down to room air, then he can start trying to take a bottle. And if he can take a bottle for 48 hours straight, he gets to come home.
Come on, Reese.
Right.
We're rooting for you, brother.
It could literally be within a week, which is mind blowing. But then at the same time, a lot of preemies struggle with taking a bottle because, I mean, he'll be a month old tomorrow, and he's been fed through a tube the entire time.
Well, there's babies who are not even preemie that struggle taking a bottle.
Right. So I'm in a group on Facebook for preemies and stuff and NICU babies, and there are people that are like, you know, my kid was off of all oxygen and on room air, and it still took 3 weeks or a month or even longer for him to come home because they couldn't figure out the bottle. So
right.
I'm trying not to get my hopes up.
Right.
But I mean, it could be within the next week. It could be a month from now.
When I talked to Siler at the baby shower, I was talking to him about, he's like, I still haven't been able to meet him. I want to be able to, I'm ready for him to come home. And so he's ready to be a big brother.
Oh, he's so excited. He's been literally been excited from day one. Like, the kid blows my mind sometimes. I mean, 11 years old, and every day he'd come home from school. How are you feeling today, Mom? How's the baby? Has he moved? You know, just question after question. And, you know, he'd sit there with me every day and we'd read our little daily updates on the pregnancy app and stuff. And
so he's fully involved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
100%. He's very much excited. And he's made it very clear to me that he's going to make him a nerd, just like him. Like that's his goal. He's like, I'm going to make him a nerd, just like me, Mom.
Forget what was going on during the baby shower, but it was one of the games when y'all were sitting back to back. You had the signs up and who's going to be the one and blah, 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 blah. And you both put, I forget what the question was, but you both put up Siler and everybody was like, Siler. And he's like, they had that closing door, where they were at. And he closed on his face. He was like disappearing. We were all cracking up.
Yeah, no, but he's very excited. He told me his first word was going to be Aya, because, he's taking karate and stuff. And he said even if Reese doesn't take karate, he's going to teach him how to do karate anyways. So
right.
He's very excited. He's never had a sibling around him full time. Like,
and he's 11?
Yeah, he's got 2 younger siblings, but they lived with his father, and now his father and his wife are separated. So he doesn't get to see him very often at all, but he's never lived full time with his siblings. So he's very excited.
It's going to be a change for him, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I sent him, oh, man, though, like in the hospital, and I'm so glad I did. I don't know why. It just kind of popped in my mind. But I sent him pictures before I sent them to the grandparents that were in the waiting room. So he got pictures before the grandparents got pictures. And like from that point on, every time that he got pictures, he would like run around and show everybody. And while I was recovering from the C-section and everything, I went in on Thursday and left on Monday. We'd make sure to send him the pictures first.
Right.
And he was staying with my aunt and my cousins, and they were like, every time he gets pictures, he's running around showing everyone in the house.
I got him before you did.
Oh yeah. He even sent him to his father,
yeah,
who has no connection to this baby. But he's that excited and that proud.
He's excited, and he wants his dad,
right,
even though to be involved.
I thought it was awesome. His dad, in true, Stewart form, cracked a big joke about it. Like, he sent him the baby pictures, and he's like, "You're too young for a baby," He's like, "No, it's Mom's."
Who's the mama?
But no, he's very excited, and he honestly has been a huge help through the pregnancy, and even now, like, he still is, he's willing to do things that he would have argued about before.
Right.
So
it's funny how things like that can change somebody up.
Right, and he hasn't even met him yet, and it's still affected him and changed him in a positive way.
Grabbing a diaper bag, and I totally see Siler being the one. Oh, let me get the diaper. I'll get that, Mom. I'll get the door. I totally see him doing that.
I push the car seat.
Yeah. Yep.
I see it too. I fully see. Hey, buddy, go grab me a diaper. Okay. Oh yeah.
That might have been one of the questions where he tucked behind the thing was about who's going to be changing the most poopy diapers. Or something.
Yeah, no, not him. No, not him. that was actually his biggest concern. He's like, I'm very excited, but I just want to make sure you're not going to make me change diapers. Like, kid, you're 11. Don't even wipe your own butt good enough. You're not going to wipe the baby's butt.
Mom!
Let's be honest here. But no, everything's going good.
So what are the doctors saying? The oxygen thing and 48 hours. That's the...
Yeah, because the other requirement's that he's over 4 pounds, and he's at 5 pounds.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
He's already over that limit. So those are the 3 major requirements. Is they have to be on room air, they have to be over 4 pounds, and they have to be able to take a bottle for 48 hours. So we got 2 of the 3.
We need you to start breathing that room air.
Right. I feel like that's the biggest hindrance. Even though it could take longer because feeding is usually an issue, but man, he goes to town on that pacifier, which already, implies that he's got not just the ability to suck, but the want to,
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
will they let him? So can he use the bottle before he's on room air?
No.
They won't let him do that until he's okay.
Right. Because the CPAP's pushing air into his lungs, and if he tries to eat, he could very well aspirate.
Yeah. And we were talking that before. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Comes full circle for me.
Right. But other than that, I got into my program in school, which is pretty cool, and that started this week.
And what did you do? You took what and did
Medical
what?
lab technician.
No, you took something. You were telling me right before we started. You took a test.
Oh, I took my first quiz and got 100.
And she was worried that, she just hopes she can maintain all this when the baby comes home. And
well, yeah, it's a lot.
It's
really
a lot.
hard not to, just hold him the whole time and pay attention to him and focus on, because I'm on virtual until I'm cleared through my doctor to go back to school. So, but I still have to be very present. And
Right. I mean, the things
It's a
that
lot.
matter in life aren't easy.
Right. No, nothing
The things worth having.
is
Yep.
comes easy. Right. I know.
So we always got to remind ourselves of that sometimes. Sometimes I got to remember that myself. Because life can be a struggle sometimes.
Yeah.
So,
What the hell's been going on with you? Let's turn the hot seat on you, bro.
so I can't remember the last podcast we had, but since then,
It's been a while.
June,
June?
May,
June?
maybe.
Yeah. June-ish, May-ish.
The original co-host is no longer with us. We're missing a dog. Some pretty tough things have happened within the family that we've had to deal with. Dealing with a bunch of punk ass kids in the world. Glad I'm not in jail.
Same.
Could have easily happened on many of those issues. But what I will say, and this is what we talk about a lot, and that's what this podcast was originally started for, is dealing with life, the mental struggles, the mental issues, and the things that we have. And one of the big things that we talk about all the time is iron sharpens iron. And
Right.
without the family, without the support that we all have in our circle, I say our circle because you're part of that circle, I probably easily could have ended up in jail a couple times because of the things that were going on and where my mind was, and I felt I had to handle these things. But luckily, Amanda at one point calmed me down from not doing a couple things. I did roll around to some people's houses, which I probably shouldn't have. But we walked through it, and I would hope to say that the family's stronger because of it. I hope. But with all that aside,
And I will say, like, not going into detail and putting anybody's business out there, but you and Amanda both handled that entire situation with grace. Like, I mean, y'all were very appropriate, I guess. I can't think of the correct terminology, but I mean, because like you said, you could have very well flown off the handle and you didn't. Y'all both handled it
a couple times
very appropriately.
all right.
I mean, to a degree, it's understandable
Yeah.
and acceptable, really, truly, in that given that situation. But I mean, you both conducted yourselves with,
I do feel I handled it better than I thought I would have originally. They always say that you don't know what you're going to do until you're in a situation yourself.
Right.
You can talk all the game you want, and you can be a badass all you want. And I wanted to be a badass, but it was not the right thing
and
to
it
do.
it wouldn't have served you or your family,
Right.
Either way with that,
Yep. Well, it would have ruined a lot of things going on in what we all got going on out here. You know what I mean? It could have easily, had I done what I wanted to do, could be in jail today. Could have gone to jail, lost my job, and get out of jail and not have a job. Right? There's just
right,
so many things that could have happened.
and most of them negative.
Right.
So I definitely give you two props for the way that y'all went about that situation.
Well, there's a lot of people that helped in that situation. I had some folks, Coda was one of them, that, I just reached out to him, I was like, hey man, you come over. He's like, I can't be there all night, but I can come there and just be, and he was here all night long with all of us, and that means more than anything in the world,
Got a good group of people.
Sometimes that's all you need is someone just to be there. Not even to talk, just to be there.
Just be there.
Yep.
Talk about
And-
something completely different.
Oh, we had a lot of laughs. Even though it was such a hard time, such a shitty situation, we had a lot of good laughs.
Oh yeah, I remember that night that I was here till like 3 a.m. and
Well, and
when we
not to
were,
name any names, there was a girl who she's 19, but acts
She's
way above
cool.
her age.
I think she's 20 now.
Is she?
I don't
But she was actually having fun and singing.
acting her age.
Yeah,
Which was
acting her
insane.
age, singing
It was
karaoke
great.
with Jolie and friends, and like, it's like, what? Is this even real? Like,
You really are a teenager.
so it was a lot of fun, and those are the types
that
of
was
things
such a
that
fun night. It was all for a crappy reason, but the night itself was just a lot of fun.
yeah.
It
Well,
really
there was several nights like that through all this, and it sucks it happened. And but like you said earlier, you can't dwell on it because that doesn't help. It gets us in a darker place. And I went semi-dark. I didn't go too dark because I've learned that I can't let anybody else control my mental state. Right. And that's what I was doing in all that time, that I was trying to get control of my mental state to make sure I was doing the right thing. It's hard.
Yeah.
Very hard to do. And it was a big struggle for me. I try to stay calm, cool, and collective, but inside it was a fucking battle.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, the battle itself is normal. That's
Mhm.
human nature, We all have emotions. We all get angry. We all get upset. But being able to remain calm, cool, and collective on the outside, as long as you're addressing what's going on
Right.
internally, that's what matters.
That's actually what matters. That's what helped me. Allowing people to be there with me and for me during those times helped tremendously. We talked on this podcast. Never go against your gut feeling if the gut feeling is there. We had said it many times. And in that moment, my gut feeling was too strong to not go with it. And if my gut was ever wrong, I hope that was the time it was wrong for the sake of everything that was going on. I lost well, and you did too. A good friend, a pet, lost a lot. You know what I mean? And it hurt. Like, I'm not going to say it still doesn't suck, but
No, it still sucks.
I hope.
And I know we're not supposed to let them live in our brain rent free and all that good stuff, but it still sucks.
Yeah, it's still there. You know what I mean? Like, you can't get rid of it. You can't change it.
On the plus side, though, we did have some amazing people come into our group within the last couple of years, or within the last year.
We had. I just got chills. We had some really good people. So let's talk about the haunt.
We've had a whole haunt season since the last podcast.
We did.
A whole haunt season.
An amazing, actually, our last podcast was at the tattoo convention. So it's been since the tattoo convention.
Wow.
We haven't had one since then. I think the last one we did was hosted at the tattoo convention.
That's the beginning of May.
Yep. So tattoo convention since then. We were going to work on a haunt convention. That didn't work out. We had to change up the entire haunt.
Everything went down. Certain people left. Things had to be changed. But 2 months out from
they needed to be changed.
And they got changed. And we came together. People that weren't necessarily as involved previously were godsends this past season.
They were embedded in everything we had going on.
And we had some new haunters out there for their first year. My 11-year-old being one of them. That was amazing to see the growth in him.
Macabre's kids. Well, one of them was here with us last year.
Right, but the youngest one, their first haunt season.
Yep.
That was
and killed it.
Amazing to see, and the change. If nothing else, that should show you why this has to continue.
Right.
The change in just my son alone, not even everyone else, but just my son alone.
Not nearly
the
as shy.
shyness and everything from the haunt classes in June and July to, him just completely coming out of his shell come haunt season and crushing it as a zombie kid.
I can have a conversation with him now.
Oh yeah, and he loves you guys. He loves, like, tonight. He asked me if he could come up here, and I was like, "Well, you can, but we're not doing anything. There's not going to be a bonfire. There's not, we're just we're gonna be doing a podcast." And he's like, "Oh, okay, never mind."
Never mind.
But he loves you guys, and he loves coming out here. He had a blast hanging out in the house with Joey and Landon and Amanda that one night. They were all running around, and Landon was chasing him, trying to
God,
boot on him and stuff. But like, I mean, he's grown already in one season, in a very short time since our last podcast, to look at you guys like
he's in karate now.
Family. He's in karate, yes, and crushing it. He's sparring. He's ready to test for his orange senior belt. So that's the next step. But I mean, just
do you think the haunt out here has helped him with that a little bit, or do you think that's helped him out here, or both?
I'm not sure that either one really plays into the other. I think they both have given him confidence.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the haunt has more so pushed him to open up socially. Whereas karate, I mean, it's not about a team. It's not about, it's literally one person. It's you, and what you're willing to do and your discipline and stuff like that. But I do feel like the haunt itself, I mean, it really opened him up. He gave him more confidence in social situations.
Oh, I can tell you, socially, he's a different kid.
He really is. Yeah. And I'm not even going to lie. We've gotten to the point where we've threatened the haunt as a punishment. Like if you don't get those grades up in school, you're not going to be able to do the haunt next season.
To that too.
Yeah. Like, and the look on his face, like, the shock, like, oh God, you're going to take that away? Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
If that's what it takes. But no, like when he was having issues in school, Chucky chit-chatted with him, and, you talked to him, and sometimes it takes people who aren't the parents to say something for it to actually click. I mean, yes, but at the same time, I get it because I didn't care about what my parents said.
They say it takes a village sometimes.
It really does. I have a great village.
Yeah.
I love the village.
We were literally just talking about this. I was in Connecticut for work this whole week, and we were actually colder here than it was up there.
Really?
I got off the plane in Atlanta, and I was freezing. But we were up there during the last dinner on Wednesday night, and we were talking about, back in the day, one of the kids,
1900s.
One of the guys, he's 25, 26, and we asked him if he knew what an 8-track was, and he's like, no. Like, do you know what a cassette is? Yeah. And we were talking about 8-track, and, and somebody else was like, back in the day, we used to be able to just roam around outside. We'd go to the neighbor's house and just walk in, and, mom would be cooking dinner, and one of the guys was like, yeah, I don't know if it's weird, but I think of it now, it's weird. Like, we'd all go into someone's house, and mom would cut our hair, and we'd sit down, she'd cut our hair, we'd walk out and be done. And my parents, never thought anything of it. They just always had a nice fresh haircut. Right. Today, we're like, the fuck, you touched my kid's hair,
Oh, man, if my kid came home from a friend's house with a haircut, I would be pissed.
Yeah, it's funny. But whole ass baby is here now.
Whole ass baby, whole ass kid is here, yes.
A lot of family drama. The haunt went amazing. We had to make some changes.
We did, but it showed our group
were needed
pulled together.
Oh, we pretty much changed the entire. I mean, you can only do so much with the trail that we have, right? But we completely changed everything up, except for one scene because Little Bit came up with that scene herself, right? So there was no need to change it. Right. It was her scene, her idea. But everything else, we came together and just changed it all and killed it.
My first full season as head of makeup and SFX.
And killed it.
And we crushed it as a team.
Yeah, because
I've an amazing team now.
There was a night you weren't able to be there, right? And it was, the team just killed it, managed it. Everybody had their makeup, everybody was ready. This year, I keep getting chills about it because the team just does amazing at what they do. This year last year we tried to do our safety briefing and everything. Mm-hmm. This year we did every single night. Everybody's just like, all right, 6:30, let's get out there. Even if I wasn't there, people were ready, waiting on me.
It did honestly help that we had pushed the opening of the haunt back an hour. So there was no rush. So we didn't have to work through the safety meeting as far as the makeup team goes.
Right.
We could stop, come down for the safety meeting, but we still had an hour afterwards
Right.
to finish up makeup.
Right. Yeah. I mean, but I still think with the way the team is, they would have, because it wasn't always me that was telling everybody it's time for the safety briefing. It was people telling me, Joe, get your ass up here.
30, yeah, come on.
So that's only going to get better.
Yeah.
You know, and like we have learned to work together. We've learned our strengths. We've learned our weaknesses. Like, and we just know what to do. The team knows what to do
right.
when the time comes.
I didn't explode on anybody this year.
You've grown. You've grown.
Growth.
And by the way, we've defined it. It's passion.
It's not
aggression.
I had a meeting today with a therapist from the hospital because, you know, preemie baby and all. And they were like, well, would anybody define you as aggressive? And I was like, no, I'm not aggressive. It's not aggression, it's passion. But no, I a lot's changed in the last year. And, you know, I've learned to self-regulate better. I've learned to step back and try and process the situation before I react to it.
It's hard to do.
It is hard to do. But there are times that it's called for when, you know, because I'm the first one to take everything personally, you know, and I've had to learn to just kind of step back and even if it takes a day or two, you know, process the situation before I actually respond to it, which is great because it's better to respond than it is to react.
Right.
And previously I reacted.
You can explain your feelings.
Right.
Actually.
But it can I also would be able to take the time to step back and be like, okay, I don't think they meant it the way that I took it.
Right.
You know, it wasn't as personal as it felt in that moment.
Right.
You know?
Mm-hmm. We had a moment. I don't know if you remember this. And this is us learning how to work with each other and learning each other and learning our triggers and things like that. I walked upstairs to the makeup room and we were talking about the volunteer stuff. You remember that?
Yep.
And you told me something and I was like, oh, basically you're like, now's not the time, right? Mm-hmm. Because we were going back and forth at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you recognized that I was taking it one way, you were taking it another way, and you said something. I realized, okay, time to walk away. It's not going to help. And that's hard to do as well, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you're good friends and you both have a point to make and you're both trying to come at it a different way, saying the same thing but saying it differently. And you know what I mean?
Which is exactly what we were doing.
Yep. And
we were saying the same thing, but we were saying it differently. And neither one of us was understanding.
We weren't receptive of each other's message.
Each other's point of view.
Yep.
But luckily, not saying you weren't, but for me, it was, you know, a complete change from a year ago. I was able to realize in the moment, like, this is going nowhere. And if we continue, I'm going to get angry. So, Joe, we can talk about this later. Yep. Like, we should talk about this later. I'm done.
And I realized, all right, I'm just going to walk away. And I did.
And 5 minutes later, I was messaging you and I was like, hey, I am upset about this, this, and this. It has nothing to do with you. I think I took it out on you and I'm sorry. You know?
I didn't read that because I was driving. And
you read it eventually.
I did. I read it, and I don't know if I've told you this, but I'm telling you now. I was irritated. I was frustrated. I was pissed off. And we were driving to dinner with Landon and his friend. And Amanda was in the car with us. But Landon had asked me to take his friend out to dinner to talk to him about some things he was going through.
Yeah, I remember.
And I was laying into Landon in the car. Because what I needed to say to him needed to be said. It didn't need to be said as mean or aggressive as it was being said, but I was heated because of what had just happened. But Landon had the balls, but it's not really that. The maturity to calm me the hell down. And he said, My kids call me daddy. They've always called me daddy. It's just the Southern thing. They do it. They're probably never going to stop. Their friends make fun of them for it. It's just the Southern thing. They do it. All right, get over it. He was like, Daddy, I understand you're mad. I understand you're frustrated, but that does not mean you have to take it out on everybody else. And I literally bit my tongue because I really wanted to tell him what I needed to say. But he told me, now's not the time. And inside I was heated, and I was like, you know what? You are absolutely right. This is what I was telling myself internally. And we went and had the dinner. That's the time. That's when I read your messages. Calmed down a little bit. And it wasn't even until a few weeks later, Len and I were in the truck. We were driving around having a conversation about it. I told him I was proud of him for being able to do that. You know, that I'm your dad, and I know you might feel intimidated by me, but you're a man. You should be able to come to me and tell me you're out of line. You know, and he did it very respectfully. We were there for his friend, not for me to be mad at him.
Right.
And his friend didn't need to hear me yelling at my son over some bullshit. You know, again, it
And I
needed to
am
be
sorry
said.
that I got you heated, and you know, we were. I mean, it was a mutual thing. I was heated too, but I also
Over something completely different,
completely different.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. I was angry and heated over this, but you were going on about this, so it kind of just played into it. And I mean, I messaged you, and I'm pretty sure, like, I don't remember word for word, but it was something like, I'm lashing out at you for something that has nothing to do with you.
That's
Like,
almost
I'm
exactly what you
sorry.
said. Yeah.
You know,
But
and that's taken a lot of work and a lot of time to get to the point where, you know, I can acknowledge, like, hey, I'm angry about this, and it's causing me to lash out at you, so I need some time. You know, and luckily, I mean, that's played over into my home life as well. Like, you know, I struggle with emotional regulation, and I get to a point a lot of times where I'll have to tell my husband or my son, like, hey, I am fucking angry right now, and I'm so angry that I'm going to say some shit I'm going to regret later. So let me step away. You've done nothing wrong. Like, this isn't you.
Right.
I'm angry about this, or this, but I need to go calm down because I'm taking it out on you.
Yep. And it's not fair to them.
It's
And
not
it's not fair to
them.
you, because you're self-damning yourself at that point.
Right.
You're hurting yourself.
But I mean, but it's
Not
hard
intentionally.
because the frustration and the anger is there, and whatever they've, you know, semi-angered me about is valid. But I'm luckily I'm to a point, you know, after a solid year of, you know, hardcore therapy, I'm at a point where I'm able to say, I'm taking this out on you, and that's not okay.
Right.
Like, you don't deserve this, so I'm going to remove myself from the situation, and, you know,
But that's
calm down.
being self-aware
Right.
and taking responsibility for your actions.
Which, I mean, if I can't say a lot about myself, I really do feel like I'm very self-aware, and I do feel like I'm very much willing to admit when I'm wrong and apologize for it.
Right.
You know, I'll go to bat if I don't think I'm wrong. You know, I will stand
And
my
there's nothing wrong with
ground.
that.
But, you know, if I can logically see why I would be in the wrong, I'll apologize for it.
Right. Well, I said all that to say the team that we're building out here, like we jive together, we work well together. We are learning each other's triggers. We're learning, right? We're learning what we can and cannot say at certain times, and how we can joke around, how we can't joke around, and all that. And sometimes it's hard to do that, right? It's hard to have humility.
Right.
Like, if someone's joking with you, you get your feelings hurt, and, you know, get all upset. I'm not saying, you know, I'm saying like anybody that say a joke or whatever and take it offensive, and then get mad at the person and be like, "Ah, you were just joking around. Let me get over it," right? It's hard to do that.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, it's also hard. You can't joke with everybody the same, and so sometimes it's hard to read. You know, like I ran into a situation in the makeup room where one of the makeup artists was joking with me, and I couldn't tell she was joking with me, and I was getting upset because I couldn't figure out why she was upset with me. You know, and it finally, you know, I said something, and, you know, she was all like, "I'm kidding. I'm just messing. Do you need a hug?" And I'm like, "Yes, I need a hug. I thought you were mad at me. I need a hug." You know, and it's just a lot. Is learning your people, learning the
Right.
people around you, learning how they joke. You know, and I mean that's a lot, because I mean a year and a year ago, I would have just held all that in, and then I would have stewed on it for days. You know, and let
digging
it,
yourself into a very dark hole,
right.
thinking
You
about
know,
it, thinking about that person. Fuck them.
yeah, why do they hate me? Fuck. Yeah, all of that, you know. But I feel like our, not just, the haunt, but our entire group of people has grown.
Right.
Not just physically, because we've gotten a lot of new people, a lot of awesome new people, but emotionally and mentally, they've grown. We've all grown together.
Right.
And I think that's pretty dope.
Well, that's part of what we're doing out here, right? Trying to hold each other accountable. I've made some fucking stupid, fucked up mistakes this year that I've had to own, and continue to own up to. Joe is not allowed to drink
No.
any type of liquor
I second that.
because it makes me want to slap people
And call people names.
and call people names.
But also, one thing I love about our group of people is things happen and none of us really truly dwell on them. Like, we don't hold grudges. Like, we acknowledge, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that so many of us out here are willing to own up to our own mistakes and our own issues and be all like, should have done that. I was wrong. That, usually 9 out of 10 times, at least especially for me, something will happen and then it gets addressed and then we turn it into a big joke. Like the whole aggression thing, that started out as a big issue like that. I lost the makeup team the previous year because of it.
You're a bitch.
That's another one that's turned into, a joke, the whole you're a bitch. But that's one great thing we have is we can address it, acknowledge it, and then we are all able to move on from it.
Well, but it's not like we're brushing it under the rug.
Right, no.
We are talking about it.
Right.
When you say address, we address it. Like, we confront it head on and talk, because both sides matter. You know what I mean? You talk about it because there's 3 sides to every story. His side,
Her
his side, and in the middle.
truth.
Yeah, there's something in the middle. There's probably truth to all of it. So,
do we want to dive into it?
which one?
You're a bitch.
Yeah, go about it.
You were joking. You were completely joking. And I know 100% that you were joking, but it was so fucking triggering for me. And, everybody kept saying, oh, it's because you're hormonal and you're pregnant. No, it had nothing to do with it. Pregnancy had nothing to do with it. It was like, because I looked up to you, and looked not in past tense, still look up to you, and I hold you at a high standard because, I respect you and everything, that it was triggering for me to hear you say something so negative about me, even though you were joking, like.
I said she was a bitch.
A lot.
Several times.
But he was drinking and having fun and being silly, and he called everyone a bitch. You're a bitch, you're a bitch, you're a bitch. Yeah, it was a lot of fun until it got to that point. But it was very triggering from my childhood. And, when somebody you look up to, somebody you respect, someone you love, you care about, is saying something negative,
Right.
And growing up, I dealt with that a lot. It was very triggering for me, and that's why. But at the same time, I'm proud of myself for, not holding it in, but straight up telling you, you're being mean, and I'm going to bed.
Right.
Like when I got to the point where I was like, I'm done. I don't want to take any more of this. Like I told you, like, you're being mean, and I'm going to bed. You should go to bed too.
Right. Well, see, the reason we want to talk about these things is we had a great time in Helen. We had an amazing time in Helen.
It was amazing. It was so much fun.
As shitty as the situation was, we still talked it through.
Situation, though.
It happened.
It happened, and in the moment it sucked. But the next morning, before I even spoke to you, you like came up looking for me so you could apologize. You were like, I fucked up.
I heard.
I'm sorry.
Well, people were telling me what I said and how you were feeling about it, and like, never would want to do that.
I know.
You know what I mean?
And I knew that, and I think that's why I didn't. I wouldn't have been able to a year ago. A year ago, I would have dwelled on it, been like, he hates me. He hates me. Like I tried my damnedest to make him happy. Like because I
hope
do
my
respect you, and
actions
I do
every other time.
Yes.
And that's
100%. And that played into it. Like previously, again, I would have dwelled on it, and I would have convinced myself you hated me.
right.
You thought I was a bitch, but at that point in time, because the work that I've done, like I was able in the moment, I got upset, which in my opinion was valid, but I told you how I didn't hold it in. I told you how I felt. I was like, you're being mean. I'm done. I'm going to bed. Like, I don't want to do this anymore. And, I did get upset. I did cry a little bit. But I do think the tears had to do with pregnancy hormones. But, like, I went to bed and I was fine after that. Like, I was fine because I told you, you're being mean. I'm done, and I removed myself from the situation. But the fact that the next day, before I ever even, like, you didn't just try to, like, brush it off and pretend like people told you what happened and you sought me out to apologize, which was a big deal for me because it was somewhat, for lack of a better term, validating. Like, okay, you weren't imagining shit. You weren't, overreacting the situation. But then at the same time, it was like, he sought you out to apologize. So, it was just confirming for me that
I don't hate you.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're a bitch.
Yeah. No, but yeah, pretty much. Like it.
And
but previously, I wouldn't have said anything. I'd have taken my butt to bed, and then the whole rest of the weekend, I'd have avoided the hell out of you because Joe hates me.
Right. And you would have been on the bouncy ball.
I wouldn't have made smiley break face.
Oh, yeah. Smiley bro character.
Highlight of my first acting night ever.
And apparently, nobody makes smiley break characters, so congratulations.
Oh, man, that was such a... I mean, he was bent over. He was laughing so hard. Like, he couldn't even stand up straight. He was laughing so hard. But it was such a good time. And it was such a huge, like... I know I got sick at one point, but it was, like, team building. We're big on team building.
Well, that's
but that
exactly why we did that.
Huge thing. Like, I feel like it pulled everybody else so much closer. And then that night, like, we all hung out. You still had some drinks, but it was a little more chill.
Did I drink that night?
Yes, but not a lot. Not like you. And the night before, it's not that you drank a lot. It's just you drank a good bit fast. I think that's what got you.
And I mixed a lot.
Yeah. And you took shots from some very interesting. Never mind.
Yeah, we can't talk. There's some things we can't talk about in this.
But it was a lot of fun, and it was very much. It was team building. I feel like I bonded with Coda during that experience. I definitely feel like I bonded with Andy from day one.
We all bond with Andy.
I find it hilarious that Macabre told me her biggest concern when she heard that Andy was coming to join our team was that me and him are going to butt heads because our personalities are so much alike.
Oh.
But like
it's been the exact opposite.
From day one was just like,
Andy's the shit.
You're my person.
We love Petunia.
We love Petunia. Love it.
We also learned in Helen that it is possible to fall up the stairs and make the stair treads rattle. We'll just say that. We'll leave it at that.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. We won't name names.
And
but that was a hilarious moment.
We also found that you can have boxing matches with the same things that we were taking shots out of, I guess, and make Dakota all out and
on
laugh.
The floor laughing.
Dead laughing. It was a lot of fun. We had a lot of good times.
I mean, it was a blast.
So we went up to Helen to go guest haunt at Helen, which that haunt is awesome. The people are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Very welcoming. Let us come in. And they said, just do what y'all feel you want to do. They had an amazing team as well. Great setup. Lots of fun.
Oh, so much fun.
Then we came back and we were preparing more for our haunt. We won't talk full money or anything like that, but the first year we had the haunt at this house, we made money. Not a lot, but we made 10 times the amount in 2025.
It was a hell of a year. Because I worked the queue line for a couple nights, scanning tickets and stuff. And there were several people that were coming back through the second or third time, talking about how awesome it was and how much fun they had. It was
this year. I want to double what we made. I think we can. What we made this year. And it's not about the money, but it's about the impact. Because the impact we're having isn't just on, our team and everything, but it's on the people that come to visit.
Right.
Right. The experience they have, the conversations we have. And once we start making that kind of money, we'll be able to make the impact on the community that we actually want to make. We were able to donate this year more than what we made last year. If we put all the donations and over what we made. So
I mean, it had its issues and it had its, you know, moments of wanting to pull our hair out, but it was a hell of a haunt season. Like, it was a good year.
well, so we talked about learning how to work as a team and stuff like that. Like, we're able to, several of us are able to pick up on cues. I'm going to go to the cue line for one. Like, you stepped in, you were pregnant, right? You said, you wanted to do a character. You were working on a character, developing a character, but made a decision at the last minute. I don't want to commit to something that I know I'm not going to be able to fully commit to.
And I'm glad I did. I'm glad that I did do that, because I wouldn't have.
Right.
You know, I acted for one night, and I didn't even act for the whole night.
But it wasn't your character either.
It wasn't, but it was too much.
Right.
Because, again, I was miserable pregnant, and I'm constantly out of breath and nauseous and the whole 9 yards. And it just, I acted one night, and I was just like, this is too much right now.
But you also came out and helped with the ticket line.
Right. Well, I mean, I was still adamantly going to be involved.
Right.
You know, it wasn't, I knew that, is that me or you? Oh, that's me. It wasn't that I couldn't be involved. It just was the acting portion of it. And everybody kept telling me, well, don't go as hard. I don't know how not to.
Right.
You know, it's all or nothing.
Yeah, it's difficult to not act.
I can't, I want to give it my all. And if I can't give it my all, I don't want to do it.
Right.
But I knew that I could help elsewhere. You know, I spent a lot of time just in the midway, the first couple nights, and then realized that the queue line needed help. Well, she didn't necessarily need help. She had it handled, but it flowed better with two people.
It made the flow way better.
It flowed better. So I jumped in the queue line and was helping out there, you know. And I mean, that's just another situation where I was the only person that did that. We had several people.
Right. Yeah, Gabby came in and helped.
Yeah. You know, step up and fall into places they weren't necessarily supposed to be.
Right.
You know, and it's great when you get to the point where you can pick up on each other's cues. You know, like there were times where we could tell you were overly stressed. It's like, okay, don't mess with Joe. Mm-hmm. Don't ask Joe that question. Ask this person that question. Like, don't go look for Joe. Look for this person. They'll be able to tell you. You know.
Speaking of that person, there is one person that needs a shout out, and that would be Dale. Dale. I don't know if you watch, you listen, but dude is a godsend.
Still the best thing we got from the tattoo convention.
We met Dale at the tattoo convention, and
the first day he was volunteering in the tattoo convention, and the first day he walked up to our setup, and was like, "I've heard about y'all, and I want to be involved.
What do I do?"
And exactly. He's like, "What do I need to do?" And I was like, "Well, our volunteer coordinator will be here in a little bit. You know, I'll point him out to you, and you just talk to him, and you know, we'll get you signed up." And he's like, "Awesome," you know. And apparently, he spoke to him and got signed up, because the next time we had a group meeting, I was in your backyard, and he pulled in and was like, "I know you. I'm in the right place." You know. So, but I mean, and then he brought his daughter along, and we had a lot of people this year come in and then bring people in with them afterwards.
There's several people actually to be called out.
Yeah. Kevin.
Oh yeah.
Miguel.
Kevin for sure. Miguel, Tree Man.
Georgia Pranksters.
Check him out on YouTube. Dude is legit. He is the man. We're making some changes for the better. Not only with the nonprofit, but with the haunt, because obviously that's our main fundraiser. But we got to do these changes for the good, right? We're growing. We're getting better at what we do. 2025, we said we're going to make a name for ourselves, and I think we did. We don't go into details, but we're hearing about, people know who we are, and it's good. We can go to several cities around this area, and people know who we are. Mm-hmm. And we have had some people come from other haunts. Montrose is one of the haunts that shut down because they sold it and everything. Apparently, they're opening back up in 2026. Right. We have some of the actors that came from Montrose and have told us they committed to staying here because of our vibes and what we do and what we stand for and everything like that.
We had a couple of guest actors from other haunts that want to return.
Well, the folks that came from Montrose were guest actors, but
Right. But
and
we had homeboy and his wife from Terror in the Woods.
they were freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Like just the vibes that that group, those two brought was pretty amazing. I thought the dude was going to be arrogant and all that stuff. Far from it.
No,
he was cool
so
as shit.
chill.
He was cool as shit, and his wife was so chill.
Oh, she was awesome. I wish she could have acted that night. She was very cool.
But she said if we had any off-season stuff that they would want to come and help out again and everything. So
we had some people from local hunt come and check us out that are interested in possibly joining. You know, and that just goes to show you that we've got a good thing going. If people are willing to leave, and we're not going to name any names, but if people are willing to leave a paid haunt to come volunteer for free at ours just because the environment is better and the vibe is better, I mean, that goes...
Well, money's not everything.
It's not. It's really, truly not.
Being treated good matters. Someone else that came that I think deserves a huge shout out is Christian.
Our little slider buddy.
He has come out and just showed out.
Well, not just him, though. Like, his wife.
Really. Oh, yeah. No, her name is Smartass. S.A.
But I mean, she didn't haunt with this or anything. But I mean,
the vibe that she brings,
and she wasn't.
Well, she helped during the Christmas event.
I was going to say that's what I was going to say. She wasn't here a whole lot during the actual haunt season, but our Christmas event, like she was hardcore in it, and you know she's been at all the bonfires. Like she very much is involved.
Right.
And, you know, it's awesome to see. And then he's got his two youngins with him.
What I liked about Christian was like when I was building stuff. I don't remember specifically during the haunt, but he was always there to help. Like, what do you need me to do? What can I do? What can I do? But during the Christmas event, like, he couldn't come all the time, but when he came, he came.
Right.
Like, he came there, I was building something, and he just stepped right in. He knew exactly what needed to be done. He was like, here, I got this. Let me do this, and just did the damn thing.
My favorite part of the Christmas event? Shout out for the Christmas event, though. Ray and Jennifer.
Oh, dude.
Like, they probably did 90% of the stuff.
Yeah. They planned it. They built it.
And they crushed it.
They owned that event. Yep.
They really did. Like, and it's so awesome to see people that have been here from previous seasons that are like, I just want to act. I don't necessarily want to be that involved. I got burnt at this haunt or that haunt or whatnot. But I still want to participate. But for them to dive in and like,
see what Ray was fully involved.
Oh my God.
They were up there till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, making props, painting things.
Yes.
Bringing their kids out. Their kids are fully involved. Like just bringing things. Not going to name names, but her son is phenomenal. He comes out, always willing to help. Anything you ask a kid to do, he's going to do, and he wants to learn. He wants to grow from it, and
he really does. And he's so respectful, and he's a good. I mean, she's got 2 very good kids.
Yep.
But honestly, my favorite part of the whole Christmas event was y'all building the float, because we just had such a mixture of our people. Like we have our people, but then we have like we have the kids, and we have this group, and we have that group. And I wouldn't necessarily call it a clique, because cliques are kind of excluding. And I don't feel like any of our people are that way. But you have the different groups. Like you have the makeup team, and you have this, and you have that.
But when everybody jives.
Everyone jives. But when it came to time to build the floats, like you had a mixture of everybody out there doing something. And if they weren't building floats, they were trying to help Ray with props for the trail and stuff.
Going out there to grab broken up wood pieces to put on the side of the float.
Right.
Like all the kids were out there helping, throwing it on the trailer, bringing it out. It just... Dude, the crew we have is phenomenal.
It really is.
I cannot even imagine what we're going to do this year. Kevin will say we're going to build some badass shit, which we're going to do, but it's going to be phenomenal, just to say the least. The Christmas event.
Shout out to Kevin's wife, because she's one of the nurses in the NICU.
Yep.
Taking care of my baby.
She's got Reese under control. We got some big... I won't say plans because they haven't been fully discussed or anything like that. And I'm not going to talk about any of it, but
I can't wait for that meeting.
We have some big ideas that people are not going to expect. People are going to be
I'm excited.
shocked.
I'm very excited. I'm excited for the planning meeting because we're moving the makeup studio from upstairs to downstairs. I'm excited for the haunt planning meeting where we start talking about scenes and what's going to be built and trying to come up with the characters to go along. I'm excited. I'm
don't
very excited
expect
for it all.
if you watch this, listen to this, and came to the haunt, don't expect the same things.
Because you ain't going to get it.
Yeah. We'll say that there's gonna be some badass things. We're building some pretty cool things. We got some really cool things sketched out in our heads, some on paper.
And the makeup next year is going to be gorier and scarier. And
Oh yeah, we've already got stuff in from makeup teams or makeup companies and stuff, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be bad. Bad as in good. So we did the haunt. We talked about that. We came up with some badass scenes last minute that just went off without a hitch. To the public's view, there's a lot of problems that we have that always happen in the background, but the customers never know.
Right, exactly. And
that's what
that's
matters.
the point. Yeah.
And we roll with the punches and just make it happen because that's what we do.
But I do feel like you improved on something this year, something that, we've been harping at you for a while now. Like your ability this year to delegate and kind of like take some of the stress off of yourself. You were far better at it this year than I think
because enough
I've
people
seen
told
you
me.
previous years.
Enough people told me. And it's only, we have a board meeting Sunday,
Mhm.
right? I was, for my normal day job, I was in Connecticut all week. And there was something that my director did there that I'm going to implement during our board meetings. It's simple. You know how we get off on tangents and side conversations
Yeah,
a lot?
we do.
We were doing that in our conference room, but we had a lot of planning to do in 2 days. It was technically 2 days. I went up there Sunday. Monday, it was just me and a few people there because we were doing a team building event Monday night. So everybody was still flying in and stuff. So our planning event was Tuesday, Wednesday. We had a lot to talk about in those 2 days. So we were having side conversations, and he's like, all right, if you hear me, clap once. And everybody was like, huh? And a couple people, he's like, all right, if you hear me, clap twice. And everybody at the same time claps. He's like, all right, now that we're on the same page, just get rolling again. So I want to try that. Something like that, because it helped.
We got to direct. Yeah.
And if we can make those meetings faster and smoother, the impact, I think we're going to do some really good things.
Not that none of us enjoy hanging out for 4 hours talking about stuff.
We can do that after.
Right. Life.
But it's because we all have something to say. We all enjoy those side conversations are important to us as well. So, but it's, I don't know.
It's been a year of, not a year, but 6 months of a lot of unexpected changes, but also a lot of growth.
Right. Yep.
A lot of growth. I don't necessarily think that a year ago or 2 years ago, we would have, as a group, handled some of these changes as well as we have.
No, not at all. If 2025 did not do me in or end me, I don't know what will.
And that's how I felt about 24.
I'm telling you, I'm at, everybody says, New Year's resolutions and all that stuff. No, this isn't a resolution. I have a goal. I don't have a plan yet to reach that goal. Because I've always said goals are meant to be achieved. Otherwise, it's just a dream and dreams don't come true. But I have a goal. And I'm 6 months into that goal. But I don't have it all planned out yet. But I will. And 2026 I'm going to be the same Joe. But I'm never going to change who I am.
Right.
But I will change what I tolerate, what I put up with, and what I will allow to happen. Right? 2020, it's going to be a different Joe. I might piss some people off, I might make some people upset, but that's okay, and I'm okay with that. I have to be to do better and be better for myself.
You gotta stay true to yourself.
100%.
And if that causes friction with some people, then let there be friction.
It has to go back to what we talked about in the beginning. Feelings are not
aren't
facts.
Right.
They're relevant, and they do matter,
they're valid and they matter.
But you got to be able to
Well, they
process
aren't
them.
facts. You can't live in them, and you can't allow feelings to rule.
Do what it takes to process those feelings. Figure out all the facts, and then respond or react.
Mm-hmm.
Because I cannot. I have so much passion for this nonprofit. I'm pretty aggressive towards some of it too, but it is all out of passion. I have a lot of passion for the nonprofit. There's some things that some of them might be dreams. I don't know what the goal is yet in my mind of where I want the nonprofit to go. But I do know the shift in mental health to mental health instead of homelessness or people without homes, I guess I think is the term that people say now. I think that matters more because when we talked about it, mental health causes people to do a lot of things that cause them to be homeless, and then they get stuck in a cycle and they can't get out of it. So a shift towards
address one issue and you can go to the root of the problem.
Correct. I don't say it's the only problem, but it's a big contributing factor. And we've had an issue of someone has had some mental issues around here coming to our property, saying they hear white noise and all these things. And yeah, it's scary and it makes people freak out and all that stuff. However, when we talk to the gentleman, like he's obviously not right in the head. When you hear white noise and you hear things telling you like there's something going on. However, he's stuck in the cycle. Like he's gone into the hospital for 72 hours. That's the max they can hold him.
Right.
So I'm working with folks and trying to figure out a case study-ish is what I'm working on, trying to figure out, okay, what can we do? What are the resources out there? And what can we do to make sure it's not just a 72-hour cycle? This is obviously a problem. Because they have a mental problem and they can't deal with it does not mean it's okay for the public to have to deal with it.
Right.
We shouldn't have to deal with.
And it's definitely a safety issue out here.
What I say, it's a safety issue for him.
Yeah.
Because and I've told him and I told the police this, he's going to come up to the wrong person who's not going to ask the questions and they're just going to shoot him because he's roaming up onto our property.
Right.
He's
approaching people.
Yes.
Males and females that are alone.
That carry.
Right.
And the sheriff told him, literally the sheriff told him, he's like, you're going to run into the wrong one that aren't going to be like these folks and ask you questions. What are you doing with all that? They're going to see you coming on their property. They told you not to, and you come again, you're going to get shot.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, at that point, that's completely justifiable.
And
not that we want to do that or anyone wants to do that, but it's completely justifiable. You can't.
You know what he told me the last time I talked to him? He's like, you guys had the scary house, the spooky house, or the haunted house. I really wanted to go, but I didn't have the money. And I was like, dude, if I knew you wanted to come and you want to come this year, you don't got to pay, but you can't be coming. I got to know you're better. You can't be coming around all these people with all that. I'm sorry. And his mom was out there because he lives with his mom. And he's like, I don't know what to do. We don't have insurance. We don't know what to do. I was like, well, let me see what we can do. I'm not going to overpromise because I don't know. You know? But I do know there are resources.
Mm-hmm.
And she can make them take him in. There's things, but he's not willing to go.
Right.
But if he keeps going on, they can force the police to come in and intervene and do all that. Then that's that 72-hour cycle thing. And that's what we got to try to work on. Like, what can we do? This is obviously a problem. And I forget who I was talking to, but mental institutions, like Milledgeville and all that, they shut down.
Mm-hmm.
But people like that went into mental institutions. And I'm not saying this is true or anything, but I think it drove the nurses and things crazy. So it made them sedate them and do things to them because they got tired of dealing with it because it wasn't going to end. Because I could see that happening.
Yes, but I also could see that. Back then, you got to think that there were a lot of mental health issues that weren't acknowledged as well. And so people weren't
treated or treatable too. Yeah.
And people weren't getting the help they actually needed.
Right.
Which is going to cause the cycle to repeat themselves and drive, the nurses crazy. So all I do is sedate them because that's all I think they can do, you know? So I
Or
feel like
practice all these
we're
weird things.
right. I feel like we're at a different day and age now where, people are able to get a far more mental health help than they could have 20 years
Right.
ago.
I would love to be able to find a grant or something that allowed organizations, nonprofit organizations, to have a pot of money, or even not nonprofits, just a pot of money for people like that can get the proper
That
treatment
need help but don't have the
longer than
way
the
to pay
72
for it.
hours.
Right.
And
Because 72 hours does what? Nothing. You can get them on medication in 72 hours, but you can't regulate it in that time
yeah,
frame.
and you can't regulate it, and you can't make them take it once they
Right.
leave after the
Exactly.
72 hours, and that's what he wasn't doing. Self-admittedly,
You can't get them.
I thought I was
you
better.
can't get them to a point. 72 hours isn't long enough, for any medication to truly kick in, and do what it should do. But B, it's not. It's also not gonna. It's not long enough for them to get to a point where they are mentally capable of acknowledging the situation and acknowledging that they need that help.
Right.
72 hours is nothing.
It's unfortunate.
It's a long nap.
Just shitty situation, and I feel bad for the guy. But I was saying all this because the shift from homelessness and all that, yes, homelessness is a problem. There's a lot of resources. There's a lot. We have several homeless shelters here, right? Some of them aren't the best, but it's still better than being on the streets.
Right.
A lot of people don't know about them. So we can help get people to those areas, but the shift towards mental health and just talking through things with people and helping people through things, I think it matters. Actually,
I think it matters.
mental health matters. We got a little thing right here. More than enough. So, yeah, we did the Christmas event. It was awesome. We didn't have as many people as we wanted. However, nobody knew that it was here. People that came through were like, wow. So I definitely think next year we're going to have a lot more people.
Well, I mean, it's just like the haunt. The first year that we were here or whatnot. The first year's never,
Right.
you're never going to have your biggest crowd the first year. The
Right.
first year is just to kind of get it out there.
Well, there was people that came to the Christmas event. They were like, oh, I didn't know you guys did a haunt. I'll be back for the haunt.
Right,
So-
exactly. So I think each year it'll get better,
Mhm.
and it was awesome. I mean, it was awesome. The lights were great. Walking through the trail with the lights was awesome. The different scenes that we had, the fake snow.
The work that Jennifer and Ray put in,
Oh man,
like the ideas they came up with, the stuff that
They
they
definitely-
painted, they made.
all of the Candyland props.
I will 100% admit the
It
first
wouldn't
night,
happen without them too.
and I've told them this, and I hope they realize how much I appreciate them. I took a moment for myself the first night it was open, like nobody was there, and I walked through. I literally cried, like I choked up. I cried because it was beautiful,
It was.
and all of the work. I mean, it wasn't just them two, but all the work that they put in, all the work that everybody else that was there helping putting in, like it was worth it just to see the smiles on our kids' faces, our team's faces, and everything. That was worth it. That's all we did, and that's almost what we did. But it was a lot. That was worth it to me.
It was 2 weekends, but I definitely you definitely could tell that our people had fun.
Yeah.
Our people, even when we didn't have big crowds, or if we had like dead moments or whatnot, our people had fun.
Yeah.
It was a good time. It was a good
freezing
bonding.
a couple nights. Oh my Lord.
Yes, it was quite cold. That last weekend, I wasn't there because birthing a human. But that first weekend was a blast, and Siler enjoyed it, and he was not necessarily disappointed that he couldn't make it the second weekend. He wanted to go the second weekend, but he understood that Mom being in the hospital was a little bit more serious, so he was fine with it.
More important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Making sure she was all right.
I mean, it definitely, and I think next year, because this isn't the first year that you talked about doing it. We talked about doing it the year before, and
Oh, yeah, but we
weren't
called it
able
off.
to.
Yeah.
Right. And so I feel like next year will be even better, and the year after it'll be just like the haunt. Each year it's going to get bigger.
Oh, we
and better.
learned a lot from what we did, what we didn't do, and what we
Trial and
can
error.
change. Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, another shout out, Dustin. Dustin, you're part of us, boy. Like, there's
Why
no
was
getting
that?
away. Because he came and he had fun. And we had fun. Was it in New Year? When you came out for New Year and we were watching Stranger Things, I don't remember what I was doing. I was kind of near the porta potties, or where the porta potties were during the event, and I hear, "What's up, fuckers?" I was like, "That's all right. What's up, bitch?"
Yeah, well, you put it in ban that y'all gonna have a bonfire and watch the series finale of Stranger Things, and Siler had gotten really, really big into Stranger Things, and we were gonna go to the movies and watch it, but we couldn't find a theater near here that was playing it, so we were just gonna watch it at home. And then y'all put that in the group, and I was like, we're gonna go, and we're just not gonna tell anybody. We're just gonna show up. So we walked in, and I mean, my typical tagline, "Sup, fuckers?"
Yeah, I was like, "LA's here."
Yeah, it was awesome.
We had
and the reaction. I mean, it was.
It's like, it was a 120-inch inflatable screen. We put it on a projector. We had the big speakers out there. It was fun.
So much fun.
We did
Siler thought it
fireworks.
was amazing. He thought it was the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, it was fun.
And the s'mores, the kid ate like 12 s'mores.
Yeah, we had s'mores for the Christmas event that we had left over. We didn't sell, and we all chow down on some s'mores.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was a blast.
We had some neighbors come from across the way, like,
Yeah.
through our woods. Like, where the hell these people come from?
And they just walked through the woods. They heard a party going on and wanted to join.
Yeah. They said our music was louder than theirs. They couldn't hear their own radio, so they wanted to hear what was going on.
It was a good time. It was a lot of fun.
It was fun. What else? That pretty much takes us up to about where we're at now.
Yeah.
Because that was just after the year. I can't believe it's already 2026. Julie graduates in 4 months from now. That's crazy. She's going to be 18 here in 2 weeks. That's crazy.
Your baby's turning 18, and I just had a baby.
Right?
Who's old? No, I'm just kidding.
Landon's going to be 20. Oh, Landon's gone through some shit, too, you know?
Still a baby.
He's a baby. He's my baby boy. Sorry, Landon. He's got a new girl. And
Yes, and we all approve.
100%. 1,000%. But, you know, life happens. Bigger, better things.
Yeah,
So we got to
some
say.
puppies.
We have a new cat, too. Amanda got you've seen Angel.
Oh, new cat since the podcast.
Yeah, since the podcast.
I was like, when did y'all get a new one?
Yeah, she got Angel. It's a rag doll for her birthday. Actually, we should call her Princess because she thinks she's a fucking princess.
She is.
That cat is beautiful, but gosh, she just looks like a spoiled bitch to me.
No, yeah, you're right.
And we
She's got one
just
of those
got
faces.
2 new puppies, pit bull puppies. Landon and Jolie each got one. We had one of Jolie's friends knew somebody who had 10 pit bull puppies. We were only going to get one for Jolie because she lost Rue last year. And she's been asking and asking and asking, but she's getting ready to graduate. She swears she's leaving right when she graduates. And I don't
do it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want her to do it because it's not the smart thing to do. She's not ready. She may be ready then. I don't know. But gotta let them learn on their own.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she loves animals, and I love pit bulls, and she's been asking, and I thought that it would be good for her, and she's been doing the damn thing with the puppy so far, and she absolutely adores the dog. But we also let Landon get one, because the reason is the night we decided we were going to go look at the puppy, it was the puppy at the time, Landon was like, I never get to name an animal. All y'all claim the animals. I never had an animal for myself. So we were there looking at the puppies. You know, I was like, we were talking about getting another one. I was like, I mean, I wouldn't mind getting 2. You know, we can deal with it. But if we do, it's going to be Landon's, and he's going to pick the puppy, and he's going to name the dog, and then he could take the dog because Jolie's going to take the puppy, and Landon's going to take the puppy now. But anyways, that's how that went down, and the dogs are freaking adorable. They
really are.
We had to take them like a week sooner because the couple who had them, their landlord was like, you can't have all these dogs.
Right.
11 dogs now, right? Because the mama and then the 10 puppies and pit bulls at that. And so they had to get rid of them. So we got them a week sooner than we were going to. But they're eating food. They're doing well on the puppy pads. They're still making mistakes, but they're puppies. So
yeah.
They're learning, what we tell our dogs outside go potty, and they run outside, and they literally, I took them out twice. The first time they went out, peed immediately. One of them pooped immediately. The second time I took them out, they both peed. Either one of them pooped, but it was like almost instant. So I think it's going to be easy for them to. I've heard pit bulls are pretty easy to train too. I don't know. I've never owned one, but I do love pit bulls. But that's where we're at now, and we've been talking for weeks that we want to start the podcast again. Dakota, if you're listening, wish you were here, brother.
Facts.
Life can be shitty. Life can bring us down, but we can be here to hold each other up. Totally understand life. I get it.
100%.
But that's why we're here. That's why we do this podcast. To talk about difficult things, to move through difficult things, and we confront things. As you heard us talk about multiple times, Helen, I pissed you off because you're a bitch. But
bitch.
we confront it. We have to confront it.
You're right. But that's the thing also. Once you confront on it, you got to learn to let it go.
Yeah. Don't dwell on it.
You can't dwell on it. You can't hold a grudge. You got to learn to let things go.
Sometimes we go back to things, like it. But dwelling on it is what, if you think about it, when you get into a dark moment, what are you doing? You're likely dwelling on something. Mm-hmm. I can sit here and honestly think, and I have, like, when I've been in those moments, it's because I'm
dwelling on things that have already happened, and
like,
you can't change them. They've already, some of them you've already addressed with the person, but you're still feeling a certain way about it.
Because you caused a situation that what I find is, what I dwell on the most is because of situations that I've caused towards somebody that I care for, I love for, and I fuck something up. And how am I going to redeem myself?
But we good.
Yeah.
We good.
Well, no, there's others.
Right. We was good the next day.
Or
because I'm not big on holding on to things.
When if I feel a certain way, and I feel, there's times where I feel like I've been less than, like, what have I done to deserve this? Why do I keep doing that? Dwell on those things. I say this because when I find myself in a dark moment, it's because I'm dwelling on something. It can be hard to not dwell on things, but it's also easy to not dwell on things.
Right.
To get out of it's. I won't say it's just as easy, but it's
all about mindset.
Perspective. You can find a way to get yourself out of it. And I have learned, and some people don't like it, I like to stay busy. Actively busy, because it keeps me out of those dark moments.
Right. If you're constantly busy, your mind doesn't have time to dwell.
Yep.
Whereas I have, in the past, not so much right this moment, but in the past I've had a lot of downtime. I've had to learn how to occupy my mind so that I don't sit and dwell on things.
Right.
Because I'll sit and dwell on something that's already been discussed and resolved. And just looking back, it'll put me in that same, mindset of how I felt at that moment.
Right.
But
one of the
growth,
dwelling on things, but you can't keep yourself busy, because something that's just as dangerous is keeping yourself too busy to where you're not confronting the problems.
Right. You have to address the issues.
Yep.
Right. Exactly.
Can't brush it under the rug and think it never happened or exists. So, well, I'm glad we had the podcast. I was nervous as shit before we started, but then conversation just let it go.
It'd been too long.
I don't know. Like, we just want to do a catch up here. I don't know if we'll ever have. We never have scripts. I don't know if we'll ever have planned things. Like before, I had
planned
all laid out and all that stuff. Like, I want to have topics planned, but I don't think I want to go nearly as deep as I did in the past.
No, I think we do, and not just me and you, but like when other people join us, like we'll do pretty good just with conversation at hand versus
makes it more real to me.
Right, it doesn't feel as forced or as
time goes faster, too.
Right, it's been over an hour.
We're almost right at an hour and a half, actually.
Yeah.
A few minutes were just a song, but this was good. This was needed. We've been saying it's been needed, so
yes,
it was needed.
Glad. I definitely want to get back to it. Make it a regular, semi-regular thing or however.
Look at this. See that?
I still want my shirt.
We have some we can press. Well, we have the things to press. We just need a shirt to press. So this is the new podcast room. I'm going to move your camera for a second. Fine. Actually, you know what? No, I won't. I'm going to turn that camera back on. And we're going to do this here. We'll change the name, camera. And we will turn that one back on real quick. Right chair. We'll take this camera. We'll move it. Over there, that's a German flag. It's not Nazi. So don't. Over there, we have the tattoo area. The bed's covered up because I don't want anything crazy. This is also going to be a spare bedroom. We have our TV over there, and then a couch, and we can have another guest over there. We could put this camera. We got another microphone we could put over there. So if other people join, a lot more room is what I'm trying to show. Because when we had more than the 2 guests, it was very difficult, and we have a lot more room here now too. So let me turn that one off. All right, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No.
All right, well, if not, then thank you for anybody who joined or listened. And if nobody joined or listened, doesn't matter, because it was good to just talk.
Good conversation.
Yep. Y'all have a good night.
Toodles.
Thank you for joining us here on Courage to Converse. Our intention is to discuss tough topics, reflect on personal experiences, and explore paths for growth and understanding. I want to acknowledge that some of these conversations may have touched on sensitive or challenging issues. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for professional advice or support. If you or someone you know is struggling, resources are available to help. In the U.S., you can call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, or text HOME to 741741 to reach the crisis text line. Remember, our goal here is to spark meaningful conversations while fostering respect, understanding, and personal growth. See you next time.
Been running on empty, fire burning low, drifted from the circle, tried to fight it solo. Oh, my silence, like a badge of pride. Growth don't live where you run and hide. You spoke the truth, not to tear me down, but to help me rise when I couldn't rebound. It ain't weakness to reach for a hand, takes real strength to let someone understand. So sharpen me back, bring the sparks to the steel, remind me again what it means to feel. We don't grow when we hide the pain. Iron sharpens iron through struggle and strain. Break me down if it builds me right. Sharpen me back, help me find my fight. Life don't slow down when we need a break, but we rise again with the help we take. Some words cut deep, but they cut to heal. It's a blunt edge that never learns what's real. Tell me the truth, even if it stings. Don't let silence clip my wings. We all need people who pull us through, not just to say it, but to see it too. Sharpen me back, I could take the flame. Friction refines and it calls my name. It ain't just men, it's me and you. Iron sharpens iron through what we do. Test my heart and clear my view. Sharpen me back, I'll sharpen you. Let's go back to the basics, start again, where courage grows in truth, not pretend. Eye to eye, soul to soul, sharpen me back, make me whole.